Okay guys, so this is my second video. I've talked on the previous video what I was going to do on this one. So this is an IBM PC unit. I'm just going to take her apart essentially and see what's inside her, any valuable. So straight away it's just two little push button on the side of this one, so she's straightforward, and then she seems to just tip out, which is a very little nifty design on it, so it makes it a lot easier to get into it. So first off, we just disconnect what I can see first. We'll just do whatever I can disconnect. We'll take out the hard drive. So that was straightforward. So we have a hard drive. Again, if hard drives are working, sometimes you can sell them online again back. So that's 120 gig there. It's a 120 gig hard drive. So again, I'll test that and see if it's working. If not, all I'll do with that is I'll put it in with my collection of hard drives for taking apart. So we put him aside. We don't want to do anything further with him. So we'll have a bit of, as I said, if it's not working, we will have gold then inside of this. So you can see there's some little gold there. We'll have gold pins here. There'll be IC gold chips on it. You'll have the platters. Some of them have platinum on them. So again, that's that. Then this side. Okay, we just press down there and that removes the little disk drive. So again, probably won't sell that on eBay. You won't get anyone looking for them. They're everywhere. So take it apart, so I will at a later date. It's mainly just to see what's inside this today that I'm doing this for. So I'll take that apart at a later date. Again, there'll be some IC chips in it, stuff like that on it. So let's just continue disconnecting from the board here if we can. So where are we stuck here? And can we remove that? Okay. And where's this ribbon going to? It's going here. Okay, so just a little ribbon. Again, there will be some gold plated pins in here. I haven't done a video on them yet, but I have a lot of these to do. I'll do a video on these at some stage as well, on the gold pins inside, how I remove them, stuff like that. So I'll do a video on them, so I'll put them aside for again. Let's see, what else can we just detach as much as we can from the board. So any cables I see that I'm able to get at, I'll disconnect them now. Makes it easier for getting access to stuff. So that's your power supply there. So it's quite a small power supply inside of this one. It's a well compacted board or computer. So that's your little fan. So again, hold on to the fans if you're going to do any hold at any stage for extracting. You could use them fans or something like that. It can be used again, I'm sure. And I think so. First off, I see some RAM here, so we'll try and get this RAM out and have a look at it and see what we have. There we go. Okay, so we have some RAM here. Again, what I'll do with them, I'll trim down the they're in previous videos. Just have a look back in some of my videos. If you subscribe to the channel, easy enough find them. Have a look through them, leave a comment. So trim back these fingers. I'll remove these chips. You'll see how I remove them chips. So again, two little sticks of RAM. If you want, you could try selling them on eBay. But I just put them in for processing. Now, so we're down to as far as I can go at the moment. I have everything detached from there. So we're going to remove this heatsink from over the processor, and we'll have a look and see. Can we get access to the processor and see what type of processor is in it? So again, it's just a little screw that's on this side. So we'll just loosen him out. And the same this side. So please subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. I'm trying to get as many subscribers as I can. The more subscribers I can, the more videos. As you see from the previous video I've done, I've a lot of stuff I want to process onto the other, to start to process now, to refine the gold, to process the material to get to the gold. So I hope to do videos on them, but the more people I get, the sooner these videos will be done. Because I suppose if you see there's a lot of people interested in it, you're more keen to do a video on it. You're more interested in doing the video yourself, but if there's no one interested in it, you don't bother. So again, nice chunk of aluminium. Looks like it's copper coated, but feels nice and heavy. Good weight on that actually. I've got my scales there from this morning still, I do. Just to see what weight that is of interest. And that there now is 735 grams, so nearly a kg. Well, not nearly, but not far off a kg. So that's a nice chunk there of aluminium. Now, so back to this, we put that aside. Okay, I see the processor, so we'll just open them up. Looks like it's going to be a pinless. Is it? No, it's not. It's pinned. And because I say a lot of the PCs now are pinless. So just try and get a look at what type of processor they've in this one. It's a Celeron. So that's a Intel Celeron. So again, I'll add that to my dropped it. I'll add that to my collection of pins or processors. Okay, so now we're down to the board, so we'll see what's the easiest way to get this. So if I can try and remove the fan from the back maybe. Yeah, there we go, so that's straightforward. We've got the fan removed. So now it's just a matter of getting access to these screws. So anything else I can remove. Okay, so that's just a little slot card. So again, nice little find there, little slot card, so we'll just take him off the steel. Sorry about the sound in the background, that's my washing machine working. Have to have the old clean clothes. So today's my day off work, so it's a chance to get clothes cleaned, stuff like that. Not that interests you, I'm sure. So there's a little slot card. So again, trim back the gold fingers. There'll be gold pins in here, very lightly gold. They'll be the ones now from the early video if you looked at, where there's very little tips, just tips of them are gold. That's about it, so I separate them out into different jars. Okay, now so we'll just start loosening a few of these screws. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6 screws there to loosen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video while I do that. There's no point you looking at me just taking screws off the board. I'm sure you all know how to take screws off the board at this stage. So I'll just pause the video. When I come back, I'll have removed the screws and be ready just to see what the board looks like. Okay, so we've removed all the screws now, so we're ready to remove the board. So it's a matter of pulling that board out. That's it. So put that aside for a second so we get a closer look at the board. Fairly basic enough board. Some nice black cap BGA, smaller black cap BGA, some IC chips, some little IC chips. Again, underneath these aluminium heat sinks will be some more IC chips. Sorry about that noise in the background. We'll just turn that off actually to stop the noise for a minute. Very noisy. Now, that's a bit quieter now hopefully. Now, so as I was saying there now, so we have the BGA, so I just removed that little aluminium cover there. So again, little bit of gold in these, very little, you can see the little dots there, but again, if you want you can process them the same as your IC chips, burn them, crush them down and see does it release the gold for you. Gold pins, gold pins, gold pins, some more gold pins along here. So that was about it. On the back of the board, an IC chip. There's not really much there. You'll have gold pins in these connectors as well. We'll have some gold connectors in here, gold connectors in here. So again, when I heat these, when I process these to remove them from the board, I usually use a heat gun or a blowtorch to soften the solder on the this side, and it releases the board, releases everything from the board. So then you end up with just a board, so or everything else is off it. Then you just have to sort through it, remove your gold pins, remove whatever else you want from them. Even some of these little batteries will contain silver. So again, you can remove that battery. I don't have any pliers on me there at the moment, but there we go. So you can remove that battery, put them aside, I'll collect them up. Some of them contain silver. That's about it really on that board. So it's not much there on the board, to be honest. 2 BGAs is a nice find, small one and a larger one. Gold pins, to add to collection of pins, a few ICs, you know, a few MLCCs, but as I was saying in the earlier videos, a lot of these MLCCs now that's in along here, I don't know, can you see them there? that's in along here. A lot of these will be the newer type, which have zinc instead of platinum in them. So you know the value of them is very, very low. Hopefully, I might be wrong. I'm going on what other people are saying. To be honest, I haven't processed them myself. I will process them regardless of what other people have said, just so I know for myself. And that's what, no matter what I say here, if you think differently, just go ahead and do it. Some of the stuff I might think is not worth taking off the board, like these here with the copper in them. You know, they're small little things, but again, people take them off, collect them up. We have your crystal oscillators, you can collect them up on it as well. So that's the board. So we've another bit of aluminium there, some more aluminium on the board. So nice little bit of aluminium actually. I'll probably have a kg of aluminium when I'm finished. What's left in here really? There's not much to this board. Then you have your wire for your copper. You can remove all the wire from the copper. On the back we can remove the power supply, so we'll just take the screws out and we can take out the power supply. Again, you might be able to sell that power supply on eBay. You could maybe set it up, use it for your make one to give you power for reverse electric plating. So again, for taking the gold off the pins, removing your gold, you might be able to rig it up for that. I've seen videos online where people have done that rather than buying a power supply for it. They've used old power supplies. There's plenty of videos up online on how to rig it up for your reverse electroplating. So you can do that with it, or you might find someone looking for this particular model. Maybe they have one of these PCs, maybe the power supply is gone, and because of its size it only fits in there, so they can't just swap. It might be hard for them to get a new one of this power or of this size. So again, that could be an option. You might be able to find a buyer for it on eBay. I just collect them up at the moment, to be honest. I haven't done anything with them. I might just sell them to a scrapyard for weight value or whatever. There's copper in them, stuff like that. So you might be worth stripping them down further to see what's inside them. You might get something of more value. So let me see if we've taken enough screws out to let us have it out. We don't. So there must be something else holding it. I think I see a screw back here. So yeah, there's a screw back there on the far side. So we'll remove that screw and see what's in it. But it's a nice little case, the way they designed this case for access. It's very easy to get into access of it if you needed to, let's say, replacing RAM or something like that. Oh, it's not that easy to get that screw, so I'm going to pause that while I just remove this last screw and we'll see if we can get the power supply out, and then we'll finish up the video. Thank you. Okay, so I removed that screw, but that still didn't work. So I had a quick look there, but I've seen here you push down. Actually on this one, push down and push forward to release it. So push down, push forward, and that's it. So actually that was a bit more pushing and pulling than I needed to do, and I screwed out stuff I didn't actually need to screw out. So that's your power supply removed from the case. So again, it's a nice little power supply. Its own fan attached again for cooling. So nice. So again, I might look that up and see if there's any way of selling that on eBay. Make a few pound off it. If it's working, I'll plug it in, double check it before I even try to sell it. Don't try and sell stuff that isn't working, because it only just gives you a bad name on eBay. Other than that, there's not really much more left on this. We have a little board of some sort here, so we'll just screw that out and see what it goes to, or what happens when we remove that. It looks like it's a board. Again, very awkward, very tight screws. It's in an awkward enough spot. Sorry about moving the camera there, just caught it. If we can push this away from it, might give me a bit more access. Yeah. So it just looks like to be some sort of little connector. There's gold pins on the end of it, so that's what has interested me in it. Usually if it's doesn't look to have much on it, I leave it, because it doesn't look to be much more on this, but it may be just a floppy of some sort, but a floppy connector of some sort or something like that. But We'll soon know. We'll soon know. Well, maybe we won't, because that didn't release it either. Back here. Okay. There we go, that's released it. Okay, so it's just a connector. Some gold pins, and more gold connectors in here. That's about it really, it's not much to it. So again, at least there's some gold pins out of it, at least I get something out of my effort there. So that's really it then. There's not more to this. It's just got a wire for the speakers. Start button really in behind here if I can get access to it. That's it. There's nothing more to that. That board, that computer's stripped. So again, you can put this in your steel for get a few pound in a steel. Steel value is very low, so it's very little you make out of that. So what do we have? So we have some connectors, some little connectors. A board, we've already ran through the BGAs, it's aluminium. Got two sticks of RAM out of it to add to my collection. We got a DVD drive, a hard drive, and the processor, and a little slot card. So that's all we've got out of this. It's not a lot out of it, but again, there wasn't much to it. It was fairly easy access with power supply as well. That may be worth selling on eBay. I'll look it up and see if it's worth anything. A few fans that I'll use in different projects myself if they're working. They're handy for if you're making any sort of little box where you need to be able to extract out of it, or if you're trying to keep something cool. That's a good way of doing it. So again, we've two fans out of it. Cabling. Some people put that in for the copper. So I take the pins off first, I remove these, take out the gold pins, and then the rest of it goes into my copper insulated wire. So that'll go with that. So thanks for watching the video. Check out all my videos I have up there. I think I have 9 or 10 now at the moment, or maybe more. I might have 15 or 16 up there at the moment. So hopefully more to come. Soon moving, as I said, soon moving to the stage where I'm going to be actually starting to use the assets to remove gold from the material that I've collected up, so to see what sorts of stuff. So I've already looked at the previous video. I've done a lot. I've weighed out a lot of stuff there. I've ready to go to be ready to processed. If anyone has any idea of yields, stuff like that, just leave a comment on the videos. Don't forget to subscribe. Very important to subscribe. A lot of people just come, have a look at the video, don't subscribe. If you're interested in this sort of stuff, you want to learn more, or you have information you can give me, subscribe. And we can work together on it. You can give me information, I can give you information. If I'm doing something wrong, you can let me know. If I think you're doing something wrong, I'll let you know. I'll subscribe to your videos if you have a channel doing this sort of stuff, because the more we do, the more we share, the more we learn. Hopefully there can be money made out for while we're doing it. That's the idea, that we make money from doing all this. At the moment I have a full-time job, so this is kind of more a hobby. But if I see there's money to be made out of it, you never know, I might start to do more and more of it. So check out the old videos, leave a comment, leave a like, leave a share. If you want to share it on your Facebook page, share it on any group you might be a member of. Check out the groups on Facebook as well. There's 2 good groups there for giving you info. I find the better of the 2 of them would be the second group I joined. I was a member of one group on Facebook. There's still good lads on there, good info, but some of them aren't. It isn't as active as the second group that I became a member of. So the name on the second group I'll give you here now. I just need to check something on my phone first. So I just got a message. Sorry about that. I was just checking because I'm just waiting on a call on something. The second group would be the e-waste and precious metal group. It's a very good group. There's a lot of good people on there. So that's just a quick look at the homepage when you land on the Facebook page. If you want to join that group, you have to be interested in this sort of stuff. Just don't go on that group, waste people's times if you're no interest in it. There's a lot of good lads there, give information They give a lot of good information. They really help you out if you're stuck on anything. There's even boys there who will refine for you. So I know some people collect up and they don't want to refine it themselves. They don't want to go messing with assets. They're not too sure. The assets is very dangerous. They don't have the time. Might be another issue. They don't have the knowledge before they go at the asset. I've been studying this now for 4 or 5 years, and I haven't even started on the assets yet. I've just been taking stuff apart, because when it comes to the asset side of it, you have to be very, very careful. You can cause yourself some long-term damage, or kill yourself or kill someone else in the process of getting a few grams of gold. So check out, before you go jump head first in, have a look at the group, ask a few questions, see what material. They do toll refines, as I was saying there, on it. There's groups there. So in America especially, if someone wants to send their to the lads, there's two or three very good people there. Won't rip you off, give good deals, do good work, get good results, seem to be getting good yields from it. So that's about it. So thanks for subscribing, thanks for watching, and until the next video.